Hi, I'm Kanisha. Welcome to my channel. I'm here to talk about The Other Black Girl, Season 1, Episode 6. Okay, so I made some notes for this episode, but I don't know if I'm really going to get to that and talk about the episode because I've just been thinking about the theory I threw out, I think in a previous video, or maybe the one before, about how Hazel is connected to Kendra's disappearance, and I've been thinking about it, and I don't think it's likely that that is actually what is happening in the show, but I just want to talk about it and try to work it out and see, like, if it's true, like, are there actual hints or clues that have been in the show already. So I said before that, well, I've been going back and forth on who is responsible for Kendra's disappearance. I thought it was Richard and Diana, with maybe varying levels of like varying percentage points of who's more responsible and like that. I also briefly thought Colin could have had something to do with Kendra's disappearance, but I don't think he's involved in any of this at all anymore. So it was between Diana and Richard, and I've just been feeling like really wishy-washy about who it could be and whether it's both of them. I just don't feel strongly that it's either of them. So there has to be someone else. So that's how I got Hazel involved in all of this. Again, don't know if that's right. It's probably wrong. But I just don't feel certain that Richard and Diana had anything to do with Kendra's disappearance. And I think Kendra's disappearance is super important, especially because it's the first thing that happens in episode 1. Like, she gets in the elevator and ends up in the upside down. Like, her disappearance is important for the show. And I've been talking, well, I don't know if I said this in the videos, but I've definitely been thinking it while I watched the episodes. Is this potential for history to repeat? So I've been thinking, like, what if Hazel is older than she is pretending to be? Maybe she's actually around Diana's age. Maybe, even as I say this, still feels crazy, but maybe Hazel was around at Wagner as Eva. And maybe Eva, Kendra, Diana were like, or maybe, okay, so I think Richard took a liking to Diana, and therefore Diana worked with Kendra on the book. And if Eva was around at that time, maybe she felt left out or whatever, jealous, something. She didn't get to work on the book that turned into a huge success. Maybe there's some hurt feelings there, and therefore Kendra disappears. And then, like, the stuff with Shawnee, aka Scarface. Like, in this episode, okay, we see Hazel's got her locked up. And Hazel's trying to, like, spin it so that Shawnee is some kind of stalker and is after Hazel, but I still think that Hazel was in Boston, tried to make someone else disappear, like she maybe made Kendra disappear. It didn't work. Maybe that's why Shawnee has, like, a scar on her head, like something went wrong. I don't know. So maybe Shawnee, like, knows what Hazel is capable of and is trying to look out for Nella. The only thing that's just like weird about that theory, it's the age thing. Like I don't feel confident that that's what is happening. I don't feel confident that that's what's going to be revealed. It's probably more likely that Hazel is around Nella's age. And I think Hazel has met Diana in the past. She mentioned when she was having like lunch, I keep calling it lunch, but I don't think they were actually eating, but I guess maybe that was in episode 2, like Hazel and Nella were outside sitting at a table and talking about the people in the building. And in that conversation, Hazel mentioned that she had met Diana. So maybe Hazel met Diana as Eva, and maybe that's why Diana doesn't seem to recognize Hazel, because like they met before. Well, I mean, Hazel is a liar and a manipulator, so maybe she didn't meet her face to face. I don't know. That's possible, but I do think Hazel has already met Diana and they've talked. And it's hard for me to like reconcile what's happening, because I just don't feel confident that Richard and Diana have anything to do with Kendra's disappearance, and therefore it has to be someone else's fault. But like it's the age thing with Hazel. I don't know that I doubt it will be revealed that Hazel is actually around Diana's age. So like, I mean, my theory I think is bogus, but like I want to believe it. That would be interesting to see if like something crazy like that happened, but it's probably not it. But it's probably more likely that Hazel met Diana like in college or something and got some information about how to succeed or how to like work her way up in like a publishing company. I don't know. The other thing is like, why is Hazel doing this? In the first episode, at the very end, we see Hazel like staring up at Nella in her apartment and her eyes were watering. Now, I had thought at the time that meant maybe Hazel was feeling some kind of guilt or regret about what she was going to do, which was have Nella end up like Kendra and disappear. So I thought maybe she was feeling bad about it, but now I'm second guessing that. Maybe it's something else. And I kind of feel like maybe Hazel just has a lot of envy for the like other women in the company that are doing better than her or are getting recognized, because I just feel like maybe if Hazel as Eva worked at Wagner long ago, maybe she made Kendra disappear because she was like jealous. And Hazel has said in episode 3 that she wants to be an editor, so maybe she was just jealous that Kendra was a better editor. I don't know, and ended up making her disappear. Maybe again, like maybe history is repeating and Hazel wants Nella to disappear so Hazel can be like the black editor. I don't know. Like I started thinking about that when at the end of this episode we see Hazel has Shawnee. And like, I've just been wondering, like, what is she after? Like, what's her goal? Is it just to get rid of the competition? Like, I don't know about that, because all this time Hazel's been saying, like, if you shine, I shine. And it kind of seems like Hazel is painting this picture of the two of them, Hazel and Nella, as being like the top editors at Wagner or something like that. I wonder, okay, again with my bogus theory, if Hazel / Eva was around Wagner at the time that Kendra Ray was there, I wonder if the dynamic between Vera and Maisie was like an indication of what could have been happening back in the past, because we hear that Vera and Maisie were kind of pitted against each other, and like they were only allowed to edit books that had like girl in the title, something like that. I wonder if Kendra and Eva experienced the same kind of turmoil or competition with each other in the past. I keep going back to this bogus theory, but like, that's probably not it. And maybe I should be thinking more about Boston and what went wrong there. I mean, I feel like it's not too hard to figure out what happened in Boston. Like, I could very much be wrong, but I think Hazel was in Boston, tried to make Shawnee disappear like Kendra, and then it went wrong and she ran away, and now Shawnee's looking out for Nella. Like, I feel like that's maybe what's happening. I don't know, like how much of Kendra's disappearance is involved in what's happening right now, because there's all this like imagery about Kendra and Diana being mirrors to Hazel and Nella. Like, Nella saw Kendra's reflection in the elevator in the first episode. She's like been hearing her voice. Last episode, Nella looked down and saw a reflection of Kendra and Diana with Nella and Hazel standing there. So there's all this stuff that are like, I don't even know if I should call them hints, but it's just stuff that seems like kind of like the history is going to repeat, and they're going to end up in the same position as Diana and Kendra. And I just can't, like, I'm having a hard time, like, putting the puzzle pieces together. Of course, there's information that I don't know, and that's why I can't figure it out. But man, like, the Hazel stuff is so intriguing and mysterious, and I want to figure it out. And I really like shows like this. There's a little supernatural stuff happening with Kendra's disappearance, and like, there's just so much stuff. There's so much stuff on how Hazel and Nella are probably copies of Kendra and Diana. But like, Hazel's age is throwing me off, because I came up with this dumb theory, and now I want it to work. I'm trying to figure out how to make it work, but I don't think it will. And I think I'm wrong about Hazel being Diana's age. So I guess the bottom line is I have no idea what's happening, and I'm still looking forward to seeing like what like, what's the truth? I want to believe Hazel is older than she's pretending to be, and that I'm right about my crazy theory. But bottom line, I have no idea, and I'm probably wrong. So yeah, I'm really I can't wait to see like the truth and the answer to all that. And I hope we figure out what happened to Kendra, because she didn't just disappear. She didn't end her life like Richard said. Like, she went through some kind of portal into another dimension. So I want to figure out who's responsible and like how did they do it? What ritual is there to have that happen? So I hope all of that gets answered by the end of the series. So now I should probably talk about this episode. I think it's suspicious that Nella got the Burning Heart manuscript, and of course we saw her like go through all of it, and her name was written on the top of one of the pages, and it looked like the same handwriting that said "Leave Wagner Now" in the first episode. So I feel like that was Scarface that sent that. I thought that was her handwriting with the "Leave Wagner Now." Okay, I guess if we really want to get supernatural and spooky, it could be Kendra that wrote that, but I don't think that's the case. I'm putting it on Scarface, aka Shawnee. So it's weird that Nella goes to Diana and thanks her, and Diana takes the credit for sending the manuscript. So that was very strange. Could that have been Diana's handwriting? But that doesn't make sense because of the "Leave Wagner Now" note. And Diana wasn't around at that time. And then I think Richard had to call her after the party that Nella and Hazel went to. Like, I think that's who he called to like come in and I guess keep an eye on Nella or something. But I don't think it's Diana's handwriting. So that was weird. I don't know. Like, am I wrong? Do you think someone else wrote the "Leave Wagner Now" note? Like, it wasn't Scarface, aka Shawnee? Like, I feel like it's gotta be Scarface. But it's just suspicious, and I wanted to mention it. So, I thought I had Diana in the clear for, I didn't have Diana as a suspect anymore in Kendra's disappearance, but I don't know, making that statement, it just felt weird. And I feel like it was definitely Scarface that sent that manuscript. I just had a thought, like, the only other person maybe that could have done it was Hazel, but I don't really believe that, but I guess it could have been her. For now, I'm choosing to believe that it was Scarface that sent the manuscript and left the "Leave Wagner Now" note for Nella. As far as Owen and Malaika go and their investigation, like, I'm not totally sure we learned anything new. Like, Hazel, like, we knew Hazel was suspicious. Like, I'm talking about us, the audience. We knew Hazel was suspicious, and now she's still, like, the information that they got there's no answers. There's just more mystery. So I don't know that really helped anything. I mean, I guess it's good that they know that she's shady. Like Ben knew that Hazel was shady. But I guess it's good that Owen is on board. I don't know. But I don't know. I guess it's mildly interesting, the info that they got from the barber. But, like, doesn't mean a whole lot to me. Also, okay, another kind of random thought that I had. Like, who called Nella at the party? I still don't know who it was and how they matter. I don't think it was Scarface, because the vibes, the attitude of the person on the phone with Nella didn't feel like Scarface at all. So I'm not her. I feel like it would be too soap opera-y if Hazel has like some kind of evil sister that called Nella or something. That seems like even more nonsense than my theory about Hazel being older. But I don't know who it could be. I don't think it was Diana. No idea. And I still, like, that has to matter, right? It's not just a rant. I really hope we get an answer to who that was. But I mean, that phone call is just part of the mystery around Hazel. So many mysteries with Hazel. Yeah, that's just another thing that I hope gets answered by the time the series ends. Back to this episode. So Nella has lunch with Jesse. I understand why he said no. Makes all the sense in the world. I did not like the way he talked to Nella, and like his implication that she was working for Wagner just for a paycheck. I think I said that weird. But yeah, he says, like, he offers her the job, and then he's like, don't compromise yourself for a paycheck, and like, call me when you climbed out of it and grown a spine. I really did not like the way he tried to paint Nella working at Wagner. And I really did not like Nella's like blank response, because I thought it was her dream to be there. And it might have been after this, I think it was after this, that Nella says she doesn't believe in Wagner. She kind of believes in Diana and in Burning Hearts. Or is it Burning Heart? Sorry. But I thought Nella was gonna have an answer to Jesse's like accusation, and I thought she was going to be like, this is my dream, I believe in Wagner, I believe that like Wagner can have more black voices or something. I guess it's probably, she probably can't talk about the imprint that Diana's doing. Like, they're probably going to want to have to do some kind of official announcement and all that stuff for that. So she can't tell Jesse the new projects that are going on. But I just wish I thought she would have had a better answer, and some kind of answer about how she works at Wagner because of Diana and Kendra, and she believes like she could believe she could do more or something. But I like, for her to just be silent, I that surprised me. That really surprised me that she did not have any kind of response to what Jesse was saying. Also in this episode, it seems like the note Diana left to Kendra in the manuscript was about the ending to the book. And of course, the way it was revealed in the first or second episode, it seemed like, well, I thought it had something to do with Kendra's disappearance, and I thought it implicated Diana as being in the know about Kendra's disappearance and like what really happened. But now I guess I'm choosing to believe that it's genuine. I'm still iffy about it, but maybe that's really all it was. Maybe she like fought with Kendra about the ending and ended up writing that note in the manuscript in the Wagner archives. I guess that's really it. Because when Diana confronted Richard, that seemed, I was gonna say that seemed like what they were talking about, but I don't actually remember any of them mentioning the ending to the book. So they could have been talking about something else. I don't feel like it was that conversation that they were having was explicitly about the changes to the ending of the book. So could have been something else. I kind of want to believe that the note Diana left was about the ending of the book, because of course that, I think that would add some credence to my crazy theory about Hazel. Like, it feels like it would help line things up for that to be true, but I'm so torn. I'm so torn about what happened to Kendra and who's responsible. I'm so like divided, and I can't really pick a side. I would love for my crazy theory to be true, but I doubt it, but I want it. And it's just probably more likely that history is repeating, and that Hazel is Diana and Nella is Kendra. That's probably all it is. But I'm so divided. I don't know. I don't think I'll be able to make up my mind until... I don't think I'll be able to make up my mind. I think I'll just be torn with what is really going on. I'll be torn trying to figure out the answer before it's revealed. But I'm just going to be divided all the way up until the show actually reveals the truth. So I'm just going to be going back and forth between this for the next 3 or 4 episodes. I'm telling you, I really want to believe that Hazel was around in the past with Diana and Kendra, but that sounds so batshit crazy that it's probably not possible. So I'm torn. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. One last thing before I wrap this up completely. Let me know in the comments, what did you think about Jesse and Nella's lunch? like I said before, I'm surprised at how Nella handled the turn of conversation. But yeah, so did you feel the same way? Do you think Nella should have had a better response to Jesse's accusations, or do you think that's really how Nella feels? She doesn't believe in Wagner at all anymore. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. And that's going to do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time for episode 7.